Intriguing. Have you ever told a lie? Not a big one, just a tiny everyday lie. Someone looks at you and asks, "How are you?" And you instantly say, "I'm fine." But the truth is, you are tired, anxious, or maybe just completely bored.
I think I do that about 5 times a day, Lisa. It is the automatic pilot setting for almost every English speaker I know.
Exactly. But today we are turning off that autopilot. We are diving deep into the art of emotional expression. Today's episode is How to Talk About Your Feelings in English. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Lisa.
And I am Bob. If you want to connect deeper with people, whether it's a romantic partner, a best friend, or even a colleague, you have to go beyond happy, sad, and fine. You need nuance.
That's right. Did you know that psychologists suggest that having a granular emotional vocabulary, meaning being able to specifically name your emotion, actually helps you regulate it?
Really? So just learning English vocabulary can actually make me feel calmer?
Yes, it's a concept called emotional labeling. When you can say, "I feel apprehensive" instead of just, "I feel bad," your brain processes the stress differently. It gives you control.
That is a pretty powerful reason to keep listening. We have a massive episode ahead of us. We're going to cover everything from basic emotions to complex idioms that make you sound like a native.
Let's start with the trap of "I'm fine." Bob, why do we say this so often?
I think it's often because we don't want to burden the other person. It's polite. Or honestly, we just don't know the right words to explain a complex feeling quickly, so we take the shortcut.
Right. In English, we often use fine as a shield, but if you want to make friends or build relationships, you need to lower that shield. So let's upgrade our vocabulary immediately.
Let's start with the good stuff, the positive spectrum. Instead of I'm happy, which can sound a bit basic or childish sometimes, what should we use?
I love the word thrilled. It sounds energetic and implies a high level of excitement. You aren't just happy, you're vibrating with joy. I'm thrilled about the new project.
Thrilled is excellent. I'm also a fan of content.
Oh, that's a good one. Content is underrated.
It means you are peaceful and satisfied with what you have. It's a quiet happiness. You could say, I don't need to go out tonight. I'm perfectly content reading my book.
Exactly. It sounds sophisticated and mature. Now, what about when you're really, really happy, like top of the world?
You could say elated.
Elated. That's a strong word.
It is. She was elated when she got the promotion. It paints a picture of someone walking on air.
Speaking of walking on air, we need to talk about the not bad zone. This is where most of us live, honestly.
The neutral zone.
Yes, sometimes you're not happy, but you're not sad. You're just existing.
In casual English, we love the word meh.
Meh is very informal, but effective. But for a full sentence,
How about I can't complain?
classic. How have you been? Oh, can't complain. It implies life is going smoothly enough. It's positive but realistic.
Another one I use at work is hanging in there.
Hanging in there, that implies things are a little tough or busy, but you're surviving.
Exactly. It's a great answer when a coworker asks how your week is going, and you're busy but okay. Hanging in there.
Now, let's pivot to something a bit more difficult, the negative spectrum. This is where people really struggle because they're afraid of being too negative.
True, nobody wants to be the person who complains all the time, but you have to be honest.
Instead of "I am sad," which is very heavy, try "I am feeling a bit down."
A bit down. I like that. It softens the blow. It tells people you aren't your best, but it isn't a tragedy.
It invites sympathy without demanding it. Another classic idiom in this category is feeling blue.
Ah, the color idioms. We love those in English.
We do. "I am feeling a little blue today." It usually means a mild sadness, maybe a bit of melancholy. It's perfect for rainy days or when you miss someone but you aren't in a deep depression.
Now, closely related to sadness is tiredness.
I hear students say, I'm tired, constantly, but native speakers often use much more graphic words.
Oh, absolutely. If you have had a long day at work, you're not just tired, you're drained.
Drained. I like that image, like a battery with 0% charge.
Exactly. Or wiped out.
I'm totally wiped out. That sounds physical, like you ran a marathon.
And if we're talking about mental exhaustion, specifically from work, we have a very important term for the modern world: burned out.
That is a serious one. Burnout is a medical condition in some places now. Saying I'm feeling burned out tells your boss or your partner that you have reached a limit. You need a break, not just a nap.
Let's shift gears to something higher energy: anger and frustration.
I'm angry. It's grammatically correct, but it's a bit robotic, isn't it?
It is. It lacks flavor. If someone keeps clicking a pen while you're trying to think, you aren't angry, you're irritated or annoyed.
Annoyed is mild. It's like a mosquito buzzing in your ear. But what if it's something big, like someone stole your car?
Then you're furious or livid.
Livid. That's a fantastic word. Livid. It sounds sharp.
Here's a very important grammar tip for our listeners regarding these feelings. We have gradable and non-gradable adjectives. Angry is gradable. You can be a little angry or very angry.
But furious is non-gradable because it's already extreme.
Right. You cannot say, I am very furious. That sounds wrong to a native ear.
Curious, what do we use instead?
You use absolutely. You say, I am absolutely furious, or I am absolutely livid.
That's a pro tip. If you use absolutely with extreme emotions, you sound much more fluent instantly. I'm absolutely terrified. I'm absolutely thrilled.
Exactly. Now, Bob, let's talk about that weird space where you feel two things at once, mixed emotions.
Oh, the bittersweet feeling.
Bittersweet. That's the perfect word for saying goodbye to friends after a great vacation. It's happy because it happened, but sad because it's over.
Another complex one is ambivalent.
Ambivalent. Use that in a sentence for us.
I'm ambivalent about the new job offer. It means I have mixed feelings. Maybe the money is good, but the commute is long. I'm torn between two sides.
Torn. That's another great visual word. I feel torn. It expresses internal conflict beautifully.
You know, Lisa, talking about these words makes me realize how physical our language is about emotion. We're torn, drained, crushed.
That's a great observation. We embody our emotions in English. We actually have a phrase, it was a gut feeling.
A gut feeling. That's intuition, right?
Yes, deep in your stomach. You didn't think it, you felt it. I had a gut feeling something was wrong. Since we're talking about gut feelings, let's talk about that nervous energy you feel in your stomach, anxiety. This is a huge topic for language learners because speaking a new language is inherently stressful.
Tell me about it. I still remember freezing up the first time I had to order food in a different language. I was sweating.
So how do we describe that? You could say, I am nervous, but let's get specific. There's a subtle difference between nervous and anxious.
Right. Nervous is usually about a specific event. I am nervous about the exam. I am nervous about the date. It is temporary.
Exactly. Whereas anxious can be a general state of being. It's a lingering feeling of unease. If you say, I've been feeling anxious lately, it implies a longer, deeper worry, not just about one event.
And if we want to use idioms, the most famous one is butterflies in my stomach.
Sounds cute, but it feels terrible. It's that fluttery feeling before a big moment. I have butterflies.
Another one for when you're really tense, waiting for something to happen, is on edge.
On edge, like you're standing on the edge of a cliff. Everyone in the office is on edge because of the layoffs. It creates an atmosphere of tension.
And what about when the feeling is too much? When you have too much work, too many emails, and too much pressure?
The word you need is
overwhelmed. This is an essential vocabulary word for adults. I'm completely overwhelmed.
It is a powerful admission. It means I cannot handle anything else right now. It's actually very brave to admit that.
It is. Now, let's look at the flip side. We've talked about how we feel, but to be a good communicator, you need to know how to respond when someone else tells you their feelings.
This is crucial. If I tell you, Lisa, I'm feeling really burnt out, and you just say, okay, or that's too bad, the conversation dies instantly, and I probably won't trust you again.
Harsh, but true. You need active listening phrases. The simplest one is validation. I hear you.
I hear you. It sounds simple, but it is powerful. It means I acknowledge your reality.
Another great phrase is, that must be tough.
That must be tough, or that sounds really stressful. You're not trying to fix the problem. You're just agreeing that the problem exists.
If you want to encourage them to keep talking, you can use a prompt like, do you want to talk about it? Or simply, tell me more.
Tell me more is magic. It gives the other person permission to vent.
But Bob, what if we're in a professional setting? We can't always be so emotional at work. How do we express disagreements or worry professionally without saying, I'm scared this project will fail?
Good point. In business English, we often swap emotional words for intellectual ones. Instead of I'm worried, we say I'm concerned.
I have some concerns about the timeline.
Exactly. It means the same thing. You're afraid you won't finish on time, but concern sounds objective and professional. Fear sounds personal.
Another great workplace softener is hesitant. Instead of saying, I don't want to do that, which sounds stubborn or rude,
You say, I'm a bit hesitant to change the strategy right now.
smooth. It signals your feeling, reluctance, but wraps it in a polite, professional package.
So, we've covered personal feelings and professional feelings, but there's one category we haven't touched yet, and it's the trickiest one of all, talking about relationships and affection.
Oh, the love words. This is where things get messy and interesting.
Messy is an understatement. In English, we have a very specific ladder of vocabulary for romance. You can't just jump to I love you. You'll scare people away.
Exactly. Let's start at the very bottom of the ladder. You meet someone and they're cute. You don't love them yet, but you're interested. What do you say?
You say, I have a crush on her.
A crush. It is such a high school word, but adults use it all the time. It implies a secret attraction.
If you want to sound a bit cooler, a bit more modern, you say, I'm into him.
I'm into him. Simple. It means I like him. Or you can say, we really hit it off.
Hit it off. That is a fantastic phrasal verb. It means you met and instantly the conversation was easy. You had chemistry. We met at the party and just hit it off.
Now, let's say things are going well. You're spending time together. You're not married, but you're not just friends. This is the dating phase.
Be careful here. There's a difference between seeing someone and dating someone.
Seeing someone is very casual. It might not be exclusive. Dating usually implies a bit more structure, but the big step is when you say, we are serious.
And then comes the process of love. We do not just love in English, we fall in love.
Falling in love. It sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Like you're losing your balance.
It does, and if you're falling really hard, we have a crazy idiom for that. Head over heels.
I'm head over heels for him. It means you're completely obsessed, totally in love. You're tumbling through the air.
But Lisa, what goes up must come down. We have to talk about the words for when love ends.
Unfortunately, yes. If someone breaks up with you, you're not just sad, you're heartbroken.
Heartbroken. It's a strong word. It implies deep, crushing grief.
If you want to describe the action of the breakup, we often use the word dumped. He dumped me.
Ugh, ouch. Dumped sounds like you're taking out the trash. It's a harsh word, very informal, but very common. I can't believe she dumped him.
Sometimes, though, it's not a dramatic explosion. Sometimes, two people just slowly stop liking each other. For that, we use the phrasal verb drift apart.
We just drifted apart. It's sad, but gentle. It means nobody did anything wrong. You just became different people.
It's a very mature way to describe a breakup.
Moving away from romance, let's talk about empathy. We mentioned I hear you earlier, but let's go deeper. How do we talk about shared feelings?
Empathy is about connection. A great phrase is, I can relate.
I can relate. It means I have felt that too. It builds a bridge between you and the other person.
Or if you haven't been in that exact situation, you can say, I can only imagine how you feel.
That's respectful. You aren't lying and saying, I understand when you don't. You're acknowledging that their pain is unique.
There's also a word that's becoming very popular in English, vibe.
The Gen Z influence, but it's true. Everyone uses it now. I'm getting a weird vibe from him.
It refers to the emotional atmosphere or a gut feeling about a person. If you say good vibes only, you're saying you only want positive energy.
It's very useful for describing intuition. The vibe in that meeting was tense. It's easier than saying everyone in the room felt angry and quiet.
Lisa, I want to pivot back to something practical. We talked about anger earlier, but we didn't talk about apologies, because often after we express big feelings, we need to clean up the mess.
True. Saying I'm sorry is basic, but if you hurt someone's feelings, you need more.
I didn't mean to hurt you. That's a key phrase. It addresses the intent.
Or I let my emotions get the best of me.
That's a high-level phrase. I let my emotions get the best of me. It admits you lost control, but it takes responsibility. It's much better than saying, you made me angry.
Never say, you made me angry if you want to resolve a fight. That is blaming. Instead, use, I felt angry when.
The I statement. Psychologists love this. I felt hurt when you forgot my birthday, instead of, you are terrible for forgetting my birthday.
You know, Bob, there is one last layer to this conversation that we cannot ignore, and that is culture. Because talking about feelings in New York is very different from talking about feelings in London or Sydney.
That is a huge point. Generally speaking, American English tends to be very enthusiastic. We use words like awesome, amazing, and incredible for things that are just nice.
Exactly. If an American says, I'm so excited about this sandwich, they are probably just hungry. But if a British person says, it is not bad, that's actually high praise.
Yes, the British understatement. If a British person says, I'm a bit miffed, they might actually be furious. You have to learn to read between the lines depending on where you are.
This brings us to two opposing idioms that represent these cultural styles perfectly. The first one is to wear your heart on your sleeve.
To wear your heart on your sleeve. It means you show your emotions openly. You do not hide anything. If you're sad, everyone knows. If you're happy, you're beaming.
And the opposite, the classic British idiom.
Keep a stiff upper lip.
Keep a stiff upper lip. It refers to the physical reaction of your lip trembling when you want to cry. Keeping it stiff means suppressing that emotion, staying strong, not showing weakness.
But here's the secret for our listeners. In modern English, wearing your heart on your sleeve is becoming more valued. We call it vulnerability.
Yes, being vulnerable. Saying, I'm struggling or I feel insecure actually builds trust. It doesn't make you weak, it makes you relatable.
So do not be afraid to use these words we practice today. If you're just fine all the time, you're a robot. If you're elated, exhausted, concerned, or ambivalent, you're a human being.
Let's do a quick recap of the journey we took today. We started by throwing away the I'm fine autopilot.
We learned that content is a peaceful happiness and thrilled is high energy joy. We learned that being burnt out is more than just being tired.
We discussed that being livid is the absolutely version of angry, and that being on edge is that tense feeling of anxiety.
We navigated the romance ladder from crush to head over heels to heartbroken, and we learned to relate to others rather than just listening to them.
So here's your challenge for this week. The next time someone asks you, how are you? Take 1 second, pause, check in with yourself, and try to use a new word.
Even if it's just, I'm feeling a bit drained today. See how the conversation changes. See if it opens a door.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into emotional English. We know this wasn't just a vocabulary lesson, it was a lesson in self-expression.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure exploring these nuances with you all. Keep practicing, keep feeling, and keep talking.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who you can hit it off with. Until next time, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Bob. Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.